Merlin, cooking and baking. Costa, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Variety challenge playthroughs. Want to do more playthroughs.
Once again, the food obsessed person in me. I'm streaming and watching Bonsai Merlin. Bonsai Merlin is making what looks to be some sort of a tart.
Hey Underground, hey Sparkles, good to see you. How's my mic?
Bonsai, by the way, that chocolate cake that you made, it might have been a tart.
Awesome. Thanks, Sparkles.
But it was definitely a cake, at the very least.
I'm so glad you're here.
It looked
perfect.
absolutely amazing.
I can turn it off because I need to do a couple things, but I'll be right back.
Good emote. Whose emote is that? Oh, Merlin. Oh, hell yeah. Good emote. I like it.
And we're going to do that, and we're also going to start the What? Hi.
Have a good time, Bonsai.
Tactical, good to see you. Welcome in.
Yeah, hanging out.
Elizabeth, aw. Happy you're here.
Ladies and gentlemen, second try, it actually turned out.
Scotch Bear, good to see you. Oh, somebody found the meaty balls on a stick.
Hey, welcome to Bonsai's Kitchen. It's all about the balls. And because
Yes, let's go.
sugar is my enemy? No, apparently reading comprehension is my enemy. I don't need to be one of those people that has like a redeem for, oh, make me do squats. No, make me make a pie crust. Just a couple more minutes. I just want a little bit more color. Oh, God damn it! Forget it. All right, we're going back in. Oh my God, it smells so good. Oh, oh, that was probably not the smart way to do that. Kind of wah, wah. But it is way too hot for pants today, so we're doing the shorts. Dude. If I'd hired you, I'd fire you. I don't know why I keep stirring it in the hopes of it getting back in one piece. Yeah, you know what? That's...
Thank you.
That is
all credit to URC for sure. Keep it this whole thing together.
These are the balls. We've got buns. We've got balls. We had buns that were the shape of balls.
Oh God, yes. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Scotch Bear.
I'm just gonna sit in the corner with a big bowl of balls, and I'll be perfectly happy because apparently I needed a bigger tray for my balls. This tray isn't big enough for my balls. Spitty balls and meat juice. Yeah, that's what you come here for. Quality content.
Oh, that is a brand new one. Yeah, that is a brand new one.
Do not do that when I have a knife in my hand.
Not a whole lot of balls tonight, though.
How's my nut? Probably tastier than yours.
You get a ball, and you get a ball.
You get a ball! You get a ball! You get a ball!
Happy Thursday, everybody. I love that new redeem. Thank you, URC, for finding that one, because that's pretty much my brand. I've figured out now. So, in case you haven't had a chance to notice, I've actually...
You get a ball! You get a ball! You get a ball!
This could be fun. Yes, I have changed my channel points from the far more subdued...
Serious? This is torture. You're torturing me and everyone else watching. Wait.
Yes. So, in case you haven't noticed, I have changed my channel points from amuse bouches, which were far more dignified, to we got all the balls. So now you're collecting balls. I'm lucky as the channel owner. I have infinite balls. So I'm very excited about that. But yes, please use your balls as you see fit.
Yummy!
You get them all back at the end of the night. So actually, you'll probably get them back about 3 seconds after you use them. So please feel free to...
You have failed me for the last time.
That's pretty on point for tonight.
I love it.
Your channel points are nuts. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Are we done? Anyways, happy Thursday. Welcome in. So glad to see you. If you're new here, I'm Bonsai Merlin. If you've been here before, I'm so glad you're back.
You get a ball! You get a ball! You get a ball!
And apparently I need to have someone that can take over Underground having the ability to have all of his channel points back too. So this should be fun. Yeah, so I hope you've all had a great week so far. It's been kind of a crazy one for me. We're doing this going back to work. We're in the office. We're not in the office. And then, you know, random things happen. So not on your watch. Nothing is getting done pretty much. Which one? Sorry. TOS. I did not say that. Anyways, so yeah. Actually, it was down to our friend Tactical Stacking and Mrs. Wayso that tonight is actually happening. I've been thinking about Mrs. Wayso. Good to see you. Welcome in. What do I do? Oh, I make things and I try not to wreck things.
You get a ball! You get a ball! You get a ball!
Perfect. Yeah. So anyways, I've been back in the office. I work for a company that does transcript delivery for post-secondary institutions. So yeah, it's nonprofit. Pretty cool. And why do you think I'm wearing red? It's a lot less noticeable when I'm blushing. Just saying. Captain Happy Pants, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate the follow from the other night, and I'm so glad you've come over from Tactical Snacking's community. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We are about to get into yeah, I don't know. Those lemon bars looked bomb. You guys, if you're not following Tactical Snacking, what's wrong with you? Definitely make sure you go over there. He's like my brother from another mother. We pretty much have the same outlook on food. We want to teach you guys stuff. We want to have fun. We want to make great food, make things that taste good. So yeah, definitely. They looked beautiful with that little powdered sugar dusting. Oh, so good. God. Underground, really? Really? It's early. It's really early. Like, I realize I started 5 minutes late, but it's really early for that. So, anyway. Yes, no, please make sure you're following Tactical. You will not regret it. So much fun, such great food, and awesome people, and we love you so much. So, that's my attempt at the Korean heart things, because I'm really shitty at heart hands. Oh, grab the pan and destroy. Yeah, absolutely. Just as his go live notice usually says, grab snacks. Absolutely do not watch this without having something in your hands or having already had a full meal, because you're going to be hungry. Tonight, thanks to Mrs. Wayso, because she mentioned it when someone asked in Tactical's chat what your favorite food was. She said dim sum, and I'm like, I have been craving dim sum for so long. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to do dim sum. We're going to do it a bit of the bonsai way. Finger hearts, yeah. Hearts, finger. I suck at these ones. Like, they look more like skeletons on crack, but we'll try that. Yeah, we're going to give up on that. We'll just do the little cute little ones. Yeah, so we are going to do bonsai's version of dim sum. So the things that I really, really want to eat when I go for dim sum. And bonus, one of these is actually going to work out to be Goliath 260. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining. I'm glad you're here. I'm Bonsai Merlin. I'm hoping that oh, you got your pirate flag, Spires Queen. That's awesome. I am very excited. totally going off topic right now. Otherwise, Goliath, where are you joining us from? I'd love to know. And are you a streamer? I would love to know that as well, so that we can all go give you a follow if you are a streamer. And yeah, so anyways, totally Phoenix legs. I am very excited because I am doing a Harry Potter themed stream on Sunday, and I know Harry Potter's a bit of a touchy subject for a lot of people right now because of the person that wrote the stories. I know that there is a lot of really terrible stuff behind the scenes, but I'm going to choose, and I hope I don't get canceled for it, I'm going to choose to ignore that because the stories themselves are freaking brilliant, and I love them so much, and my Slytherin self is saying, let's make some Harry Potter Halloween food. We're getting into spooky season, so what's better than witches and wizards? And we are going to do that on Sunday. So I hope you'll be able to join us for that, because we are going to go to Hogwarts. We're going to have one of those big, long, feasty tables. Well, okay, feasty counters. And we're going to do that, so I'm hoping. Oh, excellent, Sparkles. Well, if you do want to stream, let us know so that we can definitely pop in. Make sure you put it in the self-promotion part on my Discord so that we all know you're there. And, yeah. So, anyways, that's Sunday, and I'm very excited because I'm planning on going and doing some costume shopping because, like I said, it's spooky season. Gotta get into the spirit. Never been much of a costume person, but this year I'm kind of excited to do some, so we'll see what pops up. Anyways, back to tonight. We are doing some dim sum, and we're doing some of the things that I love to eat. So we're going to do some char siu bao, and we're going to do the baked version. So we're going to make some char siu, which is the pork, and we are going to do some steamed short ribs. We are going to do
Listen,
some...
I'm Mike Oprah! You get a ball! You get a ball! You get a ball!
Do you just want to take over Underground? Because we're about to get to what you're going to be doing. The collaborative part of this stream is we're actually going to be doing shumai, which is a steamed dumpling wrapper. It's not the ones that are folded. It's ones that are sort of cups and filled. And fair warning, these are Asian inspired. I'm not a fish eater. I don't mind fish sauce, but I'm not a fish eater, so there won't be any of the dried shrimp. There won't be any of the actual shrimp. Most of this is going to be done with pork or beef or chicken, so. And we're also going to be doing some stuffed peppers, and we're going to be doing some rice with some Chinese sausage. So, Tat, good to see you. Welcome in. So glad you're here. Yeah. So, I'm thinking, I'm hoping I can keep this fairly short, sweet, and to the point. But you guys might want to buckle in because this could take a bit. I'm hoping you can make it to the end. We'll see. So, if you guys are ready, I'm so hungry. So I need to get going because... Oh, tactical! Of course, you know what? The word of the day is kindred. Literally, kindred. Cat, thank you. Yeah, dim sum is my middle name. I am not one you want to take to dim sum because I literally will order pretty much one of everything and stuff it all in my face. So I've managed to narrow it down to a few things. I literally had a menu like this long, and I actually wrote down how I wanted to do everything, and it's in the living room, so that's not going to do me any good. So we are going to 3 hours to butt time. Okay, we're going to get on. The first thing we're going to get going on is we're going to get our meats in because they need to get in a bit of a marinade. Obviously, if you could do this overnight, they would be definitely better off, but at least half an hour is what we're aiming for.
Well, hello.
Serendipix, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I'm Bonsai Merlin. Glad you're here. Please let us know where you're from and how you found me, because I am very, very curious. My bank card with the dim sum. Hello, hello. Also, oh my god, I hit 250 followers, like, 20 minutes before I came live, so, like, yay! I'm excited. Florida! Oh, fantastic! Welcome in. Whereabouts in Florida? I've done some... Thank you, Serendipix. I appreciate that. I've done some fairly extensive travel through Florida, so... Orlando! Oh, I do love Orlando, and, like, Orlando proper. Like, the park where the Fringe is. Amazing. So, thanks, Tactical. I appreciate that. So, anyways, if we're going to get some shit done before Mrs. Waso needs to go to bed, we need to get started. It's been pretty fun though, and I have to admit that Underground Rescue Channel has definitely had a very, very happy time with me doing these streams because he gets to taste everything afterwards. So there is that. And if you are not following my mod, Underground Rescue Channel, who is like super duper mod and super tech sport and also an incredible DJ and funny guy, make sure you are, because he is going to be on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Mountain, and he will also be on Saturday for a VR special. I haven't looked at the flyer, so is it Clara Candy and Database with you, Underground? Please flog yourself, because I totally forgot to look. I'm sorry. Mods don't get... Yes, no. He doesn't get paid in money, he gets paid in food, which I think is actually kind of a better deal, so yeah, for sure. Anyway, oh, thanks, Tad. I appreciate that. All right, so we are going to get going. I am going to start off because we need to get these meat marinated. So you're ready. I'm ready. Let's go. So for the char siu bao, the char siu, oops, noisy, needs, I'm going to use pork shoulder. So we're going to get this all cut up. Where are my scissors? Perfect here. I'm going to grab some gloves because we don't want to do cross-contamination and kill anybody. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get everything into a... What do you get paid when you mod for? Yeah, no, we still haven't worked that. Actually, I get paid in tech support, so let's be realistic. That's just as genuinely useful. Because honestly, I am the least computer savvy person. Serendipics. I actually am a obsessive home cook that has just been self-taught. I spend a lot of time on the internet. I watch a lot of different cooking shows, and I've just sort of honed whatever skills I have from there. So yeah, that's basically how it goes. River So Wide. Oh, good to see you. Welcome in. If you're not following River So Wide, and if you've been here before, you pretty much will already be, but definitely make sure you hit her follow. She's amazing. And also make sure you're following Fear Napalm. Underground, if you can throw that. Captain Happy Pants, where are you? Because I know you mentioned when we were chatting that I was an hour ahead, so I'm assuming you're in BC. But yeah, anyways, this is not getting the marinade done. So I'm going to grab some sugar, salt, 5 pice, sugar, salt, 5 spice. And I make my own 5 spice blend. So, oh, Elizabeth, thank you. The island, nice. Oh yes, Elizabeth also definitely gets some of the benefits. What else do I need? I need sesame, shashing, soy, hoisin, molasses. We're gonna do soy. I'm gonna do dark soy, molasses. I'm going to get this all in my bag, and I'm going to get this going, and then I'm going to put my pork in and let it sit. West Coast, best coast. Heck yes. 100%. I do make my own hoisin, but for this application, I'm not going to take the time to do that. But I think I've posted it on my Discord. If it isn't up there, I will definitely get it up there afterwards. It's delightful. So we're going to put a 1/4 cup of sugar. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really going to help that caramelization. So, because once we get it in the oven, it's going to go in a really hot oven, about 475. So you want to make sure that it has that opportunity to really get that good crust on it. Oh, Serendipic, I'm very excited to check it out. And yes, please make sure, if you're not already, definitely follow. Doing bit by bit here, and we're going to do 2 teaspoons of salt. And I've got all my spoons here. Now it's funny, I was like trying to make a menu for today, and I'm like, what should I do? So I decided I'd do everything, but this will be very interesting if I can get most of it done. I'm very excited about that. So hopefully, oh my god, I made this 5 spice, and the smell coming off this, oh, the star anise and the cloves, oh. It's delightful.
Emotional damage.
And decoy keyboard. Ooh. So is that literally having a separate keyboard so that your cat can lie on it and type on it? Because I would love that. That would be amazing. Okay, back to the marinade. So we need about half a teaspoon of 5-spice powder. You know what? I'm going to go with almost close to a teaspoon because that's me and I enjoy extra spice in my things. Of course, you can do it to taste, but half a teaspoon you definitely need. Just yes. Oh, nice. Emotional damage. Yeah, no. So much emotional damage. We're going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. I think I brought over with me. No, I did not. And I like white pepper just because it's a little bit spicier.
Listen up, Mike! You get a ball! You get a ball! You get a ball!
Oh, it's going to be the night of balls. And please make sure you use them just because I changed them and I'm pretty happy with them.
$5 a month!
Underground, thank you so much for the gift sub to Serendipix. I appreciate that. And also, if I'm saying your name incorrectly, please let me know. I'm sort of going by what I can see.
I love cone.
Sort of sweet.
Cone.
Bunk Shop! I knew it was you. I knew it was you. We're gonna hydrate. These buns are. This dim sum's never get made. Thank you so much for the gift sub. I really appreciate that. Alright, so we need some sesame oil, we need some Shaoxing wine, which is just Chinese cooking wine. It's
yummy.
9.6%, so it's not terrible.
$5 a month!
River So Wide, thank you so much for the sub, I appreciate that. You guys, that's really kind, and oh my god! 6... Holy balls! A 6-month tier 1. Wow. Wow. Thank you. No food is getting made tonight because I am totally off my mind now. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are amazing.
I hope you have a fantastic day.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to food before I start crying here. Yeah. No, so... Thank you so much. Also, I managed to unlock some new emotes. So we have some meaty balls, and I've got some other ones that are waiting for approval. Hopefully those will be ready by the next time I stream. So, yeah. You guys are amazing. Thank you so, so much. We need some Shaoxing, we need some soy sauce, we need some hoisin, we need some molasses. So, let's keep going here because I'm going to cry at how wonderful you people are and how lucky I am to have such an incredible community. But a tablespoon of Shaoxing, a tablespoon of soy, a tablespoon of hoisin. I'm using dark soy just because I like how rich it is. If you want to, you could use a lighter soy or something that has a little less salt in it. Depends on your diet, of course. If you need to keep the sodium levels down, go for the lighter soy or even for a tamari. I just like the richness of a dark soy. Oh, let's see if we can get this hoisin in here. There we go. And then we're going to get some molasses in here. Yes, that's the new more dishes. Ever get carded? No. Luckily. Aw. Yes, River So Wide, thank you so much. I am incredibly grateful. And also, eventually you're going to see show up on my stream elements that there is a PDS mix. Our dear friend PDS has been unfairly banned from Twitch, and we have no idea if that will ever change. So we are hanging out with him and partying on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays.
I want this inside of
thank
me.
you. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays to continue the party. So if you see the links in my chat, please make sure you join PDS's Discord so that way you can hang out with us. Best part about Discord is you actually get to put GIFs in chat. So it gets interesting, I'm not gonna lie. The last couple nights have been pretty fun, so definitely for sure. How do I feel about food coloring? Agreed, Captain Happy Pants. This actually has the you can actually add food coloring to this one, and I thought I would bring this out just to show you guys because it's a Desi food coloring, so it makes everything red. Try not to wear it or get it over everything. So it kind of looks like that. I don't personally like food coloring if it's not necessary. You know, if I'm making a cake that needs, you know, pink icing, I'll add the food coloring. But in my food, for the most part, I'm okay as long as it tastes the way it's supposed to. I don't need to add food coloring to it. So But that's just me. Some people like it for the aesthetics, especially when you're out in restaurant situations, you'll get that. So it's a personal thing. My personal feeling is that it's not really necessary. So anyways, the more you know. And I'm going to grab some garlic and some... Now, it's actually kind of funny because this one's interesting. I get the molasses all over everything. This one actually asks for either maltose or honey. Now, maltose is just a... I hate fun. Yes, fun. I hate fun. I hate fun. Exactly. And I have used raspberry, freeze-dried raspberry. I've seen people use beetroot powder. I'm not a huge fan of beetroot, like red beetroot as it is, so I would probably not use that. I've also seen spinach used, like freeze-dried spinach. I guess it depends on how it's going to affect the flavor. If you're doing it in something that's highly flavored with other things, I can see it working okay, but it's something that's really delicate, I'm a little nervous about that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, Serendipix, I had to make a cake for a 4-year-old, and she wanted Disney Princess and she wanted pink. So we had to do a fair bit of the food coloring. It didn't... But I was putting in an Italian meringue, so it wasn't too terrible, and I was using a gel, so not as bad. When you're using liquid food coloring, that's when you run into problems, because it does actually have a flavor once you add too much, so yeah. Yeah, exactly. A 4-year-old and her pink princess cake, yeah, there was no getting around it. Anyways, maltose, which is basically a sugar derivative, comes in a container like this. It's available in your local Asian market, and actually, that's the best part. Yeah. I will use turmeric for anything that needs to be yellow. I will be honest about that. So yeah, we are going to add some garlic here, and I'm just going to grate it in. You can finely mince it if you want, but why would you waste your time? Work smarter, not harder. Turmeric is good, exactly. You just have to be careful. It's kind of like saffron. If you go a little overboard, it does affect the flavor. So. But that's pretty much the same for anything. Anyways, you could use the maltose, which is just the sugar derivative, or you could use this amazing Good Morning Honey, which is a very awesome local product. And I am definitely going to go with that because it is delicious, and we're big fans of the person that owns the company. So I'm making a giant noise and a giant mess here. Just going to grab that. We're going to go with about 2 tablespoons of that, and that's just going to add some really nice richness and, again, caramelization. So, oops, try not to get it all over the outside of the jar, which I seem to be really good at.
Yum!
Kat, good to see you. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. I hope you had a great week so far. And kind of a weird one because Monday was a holiday, so it's been extra busy, but not super busy. And then being in the office I've been in the office Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday today. So yeah, it's been a little weird. So if I seem a little scattered, I apologize. Just trying to get my stuff together. But at least I don't have to be in the office tomorrow, which is awesome. So I can actually sleep in a little bit. And we're gonna grab a knife because I need to smash these a bit. And this is the easiest way to peel garlic, is just give it a good smack. And like I said, rather than mincing it, just give it a good grate. This is marinade, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, these are actually peeling well. I'm out of the crazy garlic that refused to peel and was a pain in the ass. And yeah, I opened that red food coloring and my finger is already red. So yeah, not a big fan of wanting that in my food. That's about as on par as the korma and biryani essences that I got. we'll get this grated in. And then we'll cut up our pork and get that set aside. And then we'll move on to our short ribs, which I'm very excited about. Because who doesn't love it? I'm one of those people with dim sum. I like a whole bunch of different things. And so I tried to think of the things that would be the most interesting and the most different. So we're going to go with things that may not be normal, because usually, to be fair, when I go to dim sum, I usually order like 4 different kinds of dumplings. I'm not gonna lie. I love anything wrapped in a dumpling wrapper, so we're gonna put that out there. But there's so many other great things, so we're gonna do a few variations of things. Pretty much, and I'm sorry if anybody's vegetarian or vegan here. This is not the night for you. I pretty much have meat in everything. Wait a minute. Do I have meat in everything? Yes, I in fact have meat in everything. So my apologies. This is not the night for the vegetarians, vegans, but I will definitely come back to you guys soon, I promise. Alright, I'm just gonna rinse my hands off here really quick. And what's my favorite dim sum? There used to be this really great place on Stony Plain Road and 178th, Cha for Tea, but it closed during the pandemic, and I haven't really I don't mind Tasty Noodle on Calgary Trail South, over by the chapters, but yeah, it's been I haven't really found a new super favorite. I'm just gonna try and get this closed up here so we can get it mixed around. There we go. Just gonna give that a bit of a mix there. Now normally chasu would be red, but because I'm not adding the food coloring, that's not happening. So more devices. Nice. All right, so we have that out of the way, and now we're gonna get our pork cut up here. Just gonna grab my gloves. We're not food safety people. Yeah, exactly. Underground. Agreed. And like this place was amazing. And you'd go. It was funny because you could tell that we were clearly the not regular customer. So we'd always get sort of weirdly stared at. But yeah, no, Tasty Noodle is actually pretty good. I took Underground there for his birthday last year, so. And we stuffed ourselves and then had enough leftovers probably 3 days later, so. I would definitely highly recommend that one. I'm using pork shoulder. I'm using boneless. Pork shoulder is one of those meats that has a really good high fat content, so it's going to be super tasty. It's also one of those meats that you need to cook one of 2 ways. You either need to cook it really super hot and fast. Can't get maple leaf stuff here. What? Really? That's weird. Or you need to cook it low and slow. So if you're cooking it hot and fast, you need to go like super hot and a short amount of time. And with a little bit of marinade, especially with the Shaoxing wine in there, that acid is really going to help break it down a bit. Otherwise, this is it's the same thing you'd use for pulled pork. So you would do it in your slow cooker. Chroma Punk, good to see you. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. I hope you've had a great week so far. We are actually going to cut this down a bit. We're going to cut it into sort of slices because we want it to be able to lie flat. We're going to roast this really hot on a rack. So I want it in pieces about that. We're not going to cut the fat off because that fat is going to render and it's going to make it nice and juicy. So, and this actually has a piece of string in it, which I was not aware of. So good thing I found that now. We'll do that. So apparently you need to inspect your pork. I usually actually use Irving's pork from our farmer's market. I was not able to get down there to get that.
You get a ball! You get a ball! You get a ball!
No balls right now! So we're just going to try and cut it into fairly reasonably equally sized portions, and that way they'll be able to lie flat on our rack. And
Emotional
kind of want to cut
damage.
across the grain. So if the grain is going this way, you want to cut across. And I'm happy with that. Fairly thick. And the grain is going this way, so we're going to cross right around here. And like I said, we're going to keep the fat on it. Usually, you know me, if you've seen me do anything with meat before, I usually try and trim off the excess fat, but that's not going to happen today. Just because we want that when it's roasting to get really good and roasty toasty. So I'm happy with these sizes. As you can see, there's a nice marbling in there. I prefer buying these boneless just because taking the bone out of it is a pain in the ass. That's entirely up to you, though, if you want. It's free ball tonight. You're disappointed. Oh, you get to give all your balls back, so you know what? Take your balls and go home. No, I'm kidding. So, yes. Please enjoy the new Channel Points balls. And so we're going to get these right in the marinade. And I should have let that bag open so I didn't have to use an extra glove, but that's okay. I'm going to seal that up. Try and get all the air out of it that we can. And we are just going to pork too. And ladies and gentlemen, the funk shop has entered the building. Alright, so and all we're going to do is we're just going to get this nice and coated. And then we're going to set this aside. You could do this in advance. I'm doing this now so that it can have at least a half an hour to sit before we start cooking it. You can do it to 24 hours in advance. Of course, the longer it sits, the more the marinade is going to get into it and the better it's going to taste. But even half an hour is good enough to get it nice and tasty for you. So let's give it a nice rub there. I'm going to massage my meat, and I'm okay with massaging my meat. To a little extra. Oh, chicken pizza that came from what? Pizza with bones. Oh, ball free. And the clips begin. So clearly my mouth is working and my brain is not. Alright, so as you can see, we've got it all nicely covered up here. And I'm just going to set that right aside. I'm actually just going to get as much air out of it as possible. If you have a vacuum sealer, absolutely, this would be a great way to use it. Because as you take the air out, the more it sinks in. So for sure, if you have a vacuum sealer, definitely use that. And I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to start off on these beautiful, oh my god, I'm so excited about these short ribs. Halloween emote season. Ah, nice. I totally forgot to put the music on. I should be fired. Alright. So, I originally couldn't find short ribs. And so I was like, I'm just going to leave them. And then I was driving home and I had to drive by my favorite butcher on the planet, who is Popowich here in Edmonton. So, I don't know. Really clear. Definitely. Oh, thank you. Vertically challenged ribs. Meat Saj. Oh, perfect. This is going to be a clip nightmare, isn't it? Or a clip jubilee. Yes. Anyways, so I drove past on my way home, and I'm like, I'm going to check in with my favorite butcher, and beautiful Maui ribs. Now, the Maui ones are different in that they don't have the bones in them. Usually when you find these on dim sum, they would have the bones. They didn't have that, but they did have these spectacular looking short ribs. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the boneless. We are going to, clip heaven, no kidding. So we are going to take these and marinate them and steam them off, and they're going to be beautiful. So I'm super excited about that. I need to flip to my recipes here. Tactical, you would understand this. So for the marinade, and I'm doing again in a bag, if you have the opportunity, Do your marinades in a bag. Just makes sense. Happy meats, yeah. Perfect! Alright. Vertically challenged. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. I can see where this is going. Anyways, for these, again, short rib is a tougher kind of meat. It's a tougher cut, sorry. You're going to need to do something to it to give it a little bit of tenderizing before it actually goes anywhere. It does have a fair bit of fat to it, but it's also got quite a bit of sinews. So these, you need to either cook fairly low and slow, or 45 Hawk, hey from North Texas, welcome in. I'm Bonsai Merlin, so glad you're here. Thank you. You got here just in time for the ribs. Ah, whereabouts in North Texas? Because apparently you might be neighbors with Chroma, which is kind of cool. So yes, thank you so much for stopping in. So anyways, short ribs are very much similar to the pork shoulder, and where you need to either cook them low and slow, or you need to do something to tenderize them and then cook them fairly quickly. So these are actually going to be steamed, and we are going to mesquite. Nice. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for stopping in. So anyways, we are going to start with these, and I'm going to get the marinade going. The way we're going to tenderize these.
And welcome to my home.
Nice. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. One of the ways you will find in a lot of cuisines is adding baking soda. And the reaction of the baking soda with the other ingredients causes that tenderization, which is tenderizing. Tenderization, is that a word? Am I making shit up? Yeah, so you'll get that tenderizing from the baking soda reacting with the acids. Kind of like when you have like vinegar and baking soda and you make a volcano. Same kind of idea, but it's going to do that to your meat, and it's going to make it a lot more tender. It's going to cook a lot better. And so these are actually going to be steamed eventually. 17 minutes away. Wow. Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. All right. So anyways, we're going to get this going. So we've got a ½ teaspoon of salt. Actually, I'm going to go for a little bit more because I do have a little bit. What do I have here for weight? Yeah, I've got, I'm going to go. So I'm going to go with a 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And again, I'm doing this in my Ziploc just because it's easier. That way you can have it all together. And I'm going to go with just under a ½ teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to go for some sugar here. So about a ½ teaspoon of sugar. And that's going to help with caramelization later. Even though it's going to be steamed, you still want a little bit of it. ½ teaspoon of sugar, and I'm sort of eyeballing it. You can always go ahead. These are not going to be steamed with black beans. It will have a sort of a black beanie kind of sauce on it. We've got some fermented black beans that'll go with it. Oh, maybe I should actually show you guys what I'm doing. Oh, all of the buttons today. That is not the one. This is not the one. Yes, this is the one.
Hey, Bonsai. It's new sauce.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we're going to go with some fermented black beans in the sauce that we add to it before we steam them off. So, yeah. Look, we're going to go with some shashang. We're going to go with some light soy. We're going to go with some dark soy. About a 1.5 tablespoons or so. Like I said, we're eyeballing at this point. This is not science. Well, it is science a lot of the time, but today it's not. And we're doing the two different kinds of soy just because you want that richness and you also want that salty. Ah, yes. I love the black bean sauce. We're going to go with some oyster sauce. If I can get the lid off. Probably should have tried that before I went live. And we're going to go with some sesame oil. I'm using toasted sesame oil. If you have the opportunity, I would definitely prefer you use toasted sesame just because it has a deeper, richer flavor. But if you just have the regular stuff. That's cool. Just a little bit. You don't want too much. It's very, very strong. And what else do we need? We need some garlic. We're just going to give this a good smell. This is the meat board, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to grab another board and do the garlic on that. And this one just needs to be smashed, so we're just going to give it a good smash there, cut that up. Oh my god, that red food coloring got all over everything. Nice! Oh, that's so cool that you guys are so close. So just give it a good smash, just so it looks like that. Slide that in. And we are going to grab a red onion and add that too. The red onion is a little more acidic than other types of onions, so that'll really add to the flavor. And another knife. This is going to be an 85 knife. Doesn't need to be fancy, just need to get it into slices. (2003) Chroma Punk. Really? Really? I don't even want to talk about what year I graduated reading that. Yeah, exactly. That's awesome that we can bring together people that live like 11 minutes away. That's, yeah, tactical, right? I'm like, I don't want to talk about the fact that I was class of... Because, yeah, I immediately read that and feel ancient. So you just need slices of these. Like I said, you don't need to worry about them being too fancy because they are just going into the marinade and then they're going to get cooked down later as a sauce, but just get that in with it. Now, if you're not a fan of red onion, you could use shallot, or you could use I wouldn't go with a sweet onion just because I don't think that would work with its flavors, but you could probably use a yellow onion. Oh, Jesus Christ, these are... Oh my god, I'm dying. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. My apologies for the language, but oh... balls, that is hot. My eyes. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is... Sorry, I'll be right back.
Listen, I'm Mike Oprah! You get a ball! You get a ball!
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Socks all over. James lives... Oh, 45! Ah, 19. Actually, my oldest nephew turned 19 yesterday, so that's awesome. Yeah. I was like, what? I know. I need safety goggles, because that was not fun. Alright. So, now all we're going to do is we're going to get this gorgeous meat into my marinade so it can get started, so we can get going on our doughs, because those are going to take a while too. Yeah. It is super, super sulfury. Yum! And that's why red onions are so much hotter. It's just because they have that extra sulfur content. So we are going to put... Look at these. Like, I cannot get over how beautiful these are. Like, those are stunning. We're just going to put these babies in here. I'm so happy with these. And yeah, if you're in Edmonton, make sure you make your way to Popowich's, because their store, I hadn't been in a bit, and I was looking around today, and it's phenomenal. The amount of, like, they carry all sorts of really cool, different local stuff. And they have everything. Like, they have ready to go stuff. Oh, thank you, Chroma. I appreciate, yeah. Like, if you're in Edmonton, you need to head to, they have all the chickens, the beefs, the porks, they have lamb, they have veal, they carry a number of different local
stuff they carry. Little Bear Gelato. They carry Jenny's potatoes. They carry... Who else do they carry? They have Clancy's mustard, which is the greatest mustard on the planet. Very interesting, Tactical. I did not know that. Apparently, these were grown in nuclear soil because the sulfur is very, very high with these. So we're just going to give these another rub around. And I am happy with that. And we're just going to let these sit. And we're going to get going on some doughs, because that is the next part. Now, I am doing the baked chasu bao, so we need to make a kind of a bread dough. I'm doing a freakishly low sulfur content. So is that sort of typical to Georgia? Because I know like Georgia tends to have like the really super sweet onions, so that could be cool if that were the case. And I'm now very interested, and I'm going to Google all of that once I finish this today. So we are bringing in our good old friend Kitchi, because we need to make some dough. And this is a Japanese milk bread base, which is delightful. Is my mic okay? I just caught my counter, and I'm not sure if I'm all over the place here. So, before we do this, I'm actually going to start my rice for my sticky rice, which will come later. We're going to be doing a glutinous rice. Good, perfect, thank you. So many things all in the way. This is as you can tell, this is sort of an ingredient heavy day. I'm actually going to get my rice started first, so it can blip away while I am doing other things. So I've got my trusty rice cooker here. And we're going to be doing glutinous rice. Glutinous rice just is the stickier one, so... I'm happy. Agreed. Sometimes I need something that makes up for whatever's happening on the inside. So if I can pretend that it's something else, we all good. We're good! Alright, I just realized that I probably need that outlet. Yes, I do. Then we're going to move some things. As you can tell, I was sort of scattered before I started, so... Got all of the ingredients today. And we're just going to move everything aside. And I hope you guys will...
Great job.
Great job moving shit out of the way. Thank you. You guys will bear with me as I move things around, because... yeah, it's kind of an all over the place thing today. Now, like I said, we're using glutinous rice. It tends to be nice and sticky, which is exactly what we want. And you can pretty much get any brand you want. I am just going to grab... I'm not quite sure where... Oh my god. Look at the color my hands are now. From that red food coloring. There is no damn way that's going into my food. Ever. Just an aside there. I need a scoop. So we're going to do a cup or so of rice. Just going to give it a quick rinse. You don't want to rinse it too much. The starch is part of the whole glutinous process, so you don't want to give it... Normally with rice, you would give it a rinse until it goes... It looks like a... I know, I'm looking at my hands going, oh my god. Look at my nails. Like, even my nails, I look like I... Yeah, that's terrible. Terrible. And I'm just worried that I'm going to touch something now that I don't want colored purple. Should be interesting. Pretty much, I would absolutely. 100%. So we're going to get a couple of cups in here. We're just going to give it a quick rinse. I think that's actually... Oh, perfect. Uses the whole bag. And this is a 1-to-1. Most rice is a 1-to-2. So 1 cup of rice,
2 of whatever liquid you want to use. If you want to use coconut milk, if you want to use water, you can use stock. It's up to you. This, because it's the glutinous and you want it to stay really sticky, you're going to do a 1-to-1. So get that into the rice cooker. This out of the way. And I love this rice cooker. I know Elizabeth didn't like it, but I loved it. So I'm very grateful that we made the exchange. So we're just going to get that up to the line. Perfect. Plug this baby in and we will let that get going. And I'm just going to put this on the regular white rice setting. It likes to figure itself out. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you for the shout out, Underground. I appreciate that. Really? You only cut potatoes after beets. Interesting. Oh, I love my rice cooker too. I know, it's funny because people are one of 2 ways. They either love them or they hate them. I'm a big fan. Elizabeth is not. So I switched her some Corningware for my rice cooker. So that works for me. So we are going to get this on white rice. We're going to press start. We're going to let that go. And it will be happy. And then we will get back to our dough. So we are making some milk bread dough for our chasu bao. And this is kind of a rich dough. It's super pillowy and fluffy, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. I just need a measuring cup here. Sorry. I walk away. So we need 2/3 of a cup. And I've got everything at room temperature. Yours plays music? Come on. I want that one now. Now I don't want this one. I want one that plays me music. That's amazing. Okay, so we need 2/3 of a cup of heavy cream. And a cup of milk. This is not health food. This is mental health food, so. But this is just so pillowy and soft and delightful. So I will not complain about the high cream content in here. And we're going to put a cup of whole milk in there. And like I said, everything's at room temperature. It just combines better. You tend to have the potential for splitting or curdling if you don't have it at room temperature. So if you're going to make this, leave everything out for at least a couple hours before you start, just to make sure. Yes. Oh, no kidding. No kidding. I had one that was really, really good. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore, but yeah, no, it was amazing. And then we need an egg. I'm going to grab my egg. I feel like I'm doing a dance routine because I've moved everything and now I don't know where anything is. 100%. We're going to add a large egg. Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. If you can post a picture of it in the Discord, or is it in your Discord, I would love to see it because I'm genuinely curious now. We need 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Let's see here. There we go. And I'm doing this in the specific order that the recipe says, so just because that's the way they want it. Now we're going to get into the flours, and it's actually kind of interesting because milk bread is actually a combination of 2 different kinds of flours. So we've got bread flour and we've got cake flour. Got rice in it right now? Nice! That's awesome. So we need 1/2 cup of cake flour. If you don't have bread and all-purpose flour, you can definitely just use regular all-purpose, but the difference of the 2 makes for a much better end result. So we need 1/2 cup of cake flour. I would usually do this by weight, but I didn't have enough time to do my calculations, so we're going to do the spoon and level method, which if you don't have a scale is the best way you can do. So spoon your flour into your cup and then just give it a bit of a tap and then give it a sweep. and you should be fine. Not as accurate. I usually go by weight. This is kind of giving me hives not going by weight, but I'll get over it. Keep ricing it for days. Cuckoo rice cooker. Oh, nice. You can't. Ah, nice. Nice. I'm glad to hear that. And then we are going to go with 3.5 cups for the bread flour. And again, if you don't have bread flour, you can use just regular all-purpose for this. It won't have the same texture. The bread flour's got the higher gluten. The cake flour's got the lower gluten. So you're going to have the ability to have those nice pockets of texture. Again, just scoop and sweep. Give it a bit of a tap and you should be fine.
I'm like Oprah! You get a ball! You get a ball! You get a
No balls right now. I'm trying to make dough. Okay. 2. And 1 more here. 3. And 1/2. There it is. And the bread flour is going to give it that little bit of extra stretch. Just going to make it nice and chewy. So that's why we're using the combination of the both. You know what? I have looked all over, and because funny thing, I had wanted to make banh mi baguettes, and I'm sure you've seen how beautifully light and fluffy they are, and they're almost impossible to replicate because for me, I don't get a lot of low protein flours. Cake flour is the lowest protein we get, and bread flour is the highest we get, so it's very difficult. Nobody actually figures out the protein contents of it and puts it on their bags, which is kind of annoying. Like, they'll put the calories, but they don't actually put the percentages, which would make so much more sense. Yeah. So I've wanted to make banh mi baguettes, and I'm still working on figuring out that ratio because cake flour is too light. AP flour is not light enough. So I've sort of been tweaking. I'm still working on that. That's actually something that's been going on in the background. But yeah, so we might have to have a chat about that because if you have thoughts, I'd love to hear them. I'm going to grab my dough hook, get that going. Because I know some companies do put the actual protein percentages, but it doesn't 100%. Yeah. Well, and that's something you can sort of replicate at home. Like, I do have the baguette pans that are perforated, and then I do spray them with water before they go in, and then I do spray them a few times throughout the bake. But it's the trying to get the right ratios of the flours that I'm still tweaking. I think I'm pretty close. I've gotten fairly close, and it's funny because there's actually a restaurant here. We're gonna put a tablespoon of dry yeast in while I'm talking. There's a restaurant here that actually sells them, and so I've bought more than my fair share of the breads just to spend time trying to figure them out. I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that because I know that I found a recipe once from someone that does Vietnamese food, and they were like, oh, you know, you just need this. And I'm like, unfortunately, I can't get that flour here, so that was not an option for me. Yeah, that's the sandwich place. And if you're in Edmonton and you have not eaten there, why haven't you? It's delightful. And 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So let's see, 1/2 tablespoon, which is the exact same thing. This measurement actually works out perfectly. Oh, running out of salt. Okay, I need to grab more salt. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. Oh, nice. Oh, I love banh mi. It's one of my favorite things on the planet. And we actually are really lucky here. We have a really good Vietnamese community that makes amazing food. So luckily, we can just go grab one on our lunch hours. We don't need to worry about actually making it. But I just want to know how to make it at home. So, all right. So, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And all we are going to do is we're going to slide this baby onto the mixer. We're going to let it go for about 10 minutes on low. Once that's going, sorry, I've got my 85 pages of recipes here. Yeah. I'm going to start my timer. We're actually going to go for 15. That'll give me time to move shit out of the way. And if you guys don't mind, I'm going to just clear some stuff out so we can have more room. And it's funny, the favorite banh mi place also has the greatest meatballs on a stick. So, kind of an homage to them. Ah, tactical. I will definitely try that. Because I've done more dense breads that are meant for tortas, so I will definitely give that a try, because that could work. Very interested now. We're just gonna slide this guy, and all we're gonna do is we're just gonna let this go. The dough hook is just activating the gluten because I'm lazy and I don't feel like kneading it by hand. You could absolutely do this by hand if you wanted to, but work smarter, not harder. So we're gonna slide this guy off to the side. You might find, depending on where you are, that you might have to add more flour if it's very sticky. This should be fairly good, and it's just coming along nicely, so I'm going to let that go. And while that is going, we are going to... I use... Exactly. I'm sorry. I know it... You look at all these people who are like, oh, you need to do this by hand. No. It's not necessary. If you have a machine that is willing to do the work for you, that you spent the money on, use it. Exactly, Groma, exactly. Why would you not let this lovely thing, and it's funny because I actually won this. We have a lottery here for a charitable lottery for our hospitals, and a few years back I bought tickets, and usually I just buy one, but this year I happened to buy like the 5 for whatever. And so I got this, and it has literally been the greatest prize. I also got a Palm Pilot that year, so let's be realistic about how useful everything else was. That's okay, because now we are going to make, full disclosure, I'm going to show you how to make the dough for dumplings, but I'm actually going to use store-bought wrappers. Just because it'll be a lot quicker. But I'm going to show you how to make the dough so that if you do want to do this, you can go ahead and do that and it'll be awesome. I'm just going to grab the flour because I have totally the wrong flour. This is AP flour. Yeah, oh, you know what? It's been the greatest thing ever. Luckily, I found a really great deal on a Cuisinart a couple years ago. And so I have this guy, and then I have a bigger size Cuisinart. So if I can find the pro size with the bowl lift for this one, I think I might be a 3 mixer person, but yeah, pretty much. All right, so we are going to let that, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but it's just going around nicely. It's not stuck to the side. It is stuck to the bottom, which is exactly what you want. Ain't nobody got time to make dough. No kidding. So I will show you how to make the dough for the dumplings, but in the interest of time, Although, you know what, if it turns out well, I might say, fuck it, who cares? Just might use the stuff I make. Anyways, I'm going to grab the AP flour, because this stuff is super, super easy. And as you can tell, I go through a lot of flour, so we buy the giant ass bags. And Funk Shop, that redeem, I do not compute. I love you, but I do not compute. That is going to cost money, honey, because that is not happening. And for those of you who weren't around for the stream that brought this all up, I was at the market and found this korma masala flavoring. It's like an extract, kind of like vanilla or almond or what, but it's korma. And then I also had a biryani one. And this shit is rank. It is the worst. Like, how much are the small ass bags? You know what? This is actually a pretty good deal when you go to Costco, so. And considering how much flour and sugar I go through, like, I literally go through, yeah, tactical. It's the worst. And I did live shots, and I regret it a lot. So, anyways, we are going to get going on the dumpling dough. I'm only doing a half recipe because the regular recipe makes about 5 to 6 dozen, and we don't need that. What is interesting is this is the collaboration part of the stream. I am going to make the dumpling filling, and I'm also going to make the dumpling wrappers. Oh god, yeah. Right? It's literally the worst. Like, I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna smell it just so that you guys can see my face again. Because I literally have not opened this since that last time, and it's like, I don't even know what to say. Like, that is, because it's got that really cheap alcohol smell to it, and then you know that there's something that's making it orange, and then you know that it's I have actually never experienced durian Scotch bear, so I'm gonna go with on equal footing until I actually experience durian, but and then it's got this awful sort of, it's got this like almost oily. You really like durian? I've never actually tried it. I've wanted to. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm thinking I'm going to buy it frozen so that all the work is done for me. Why I do that, I don't know. Yeah, like, I think I'm going to buy some frozen where it's all been cut and put into pieces and then try it there. Because it looks like a heck of a lot of work just to get it out of its outer casing, and I'm not quite sure that I have the patience for that, especially if it smells like everybody says it does. But I hear it's delicious, so it's one of those things that's on my list for sure. Dough's going pretty well here. Oh my god, that stuff has like this oily after smell, and I can't explain it any better. It's like you've kind of put your nose into a deep fryer that hasn't been cleaned for a month, and it's been at the fair and deep frying things for weeks on end. Like, it's so weird. And the durian candies are serious. Oh, there's durian candies? I've never seen those. Yeah, Scotch bear. It's. Anyways, I need to do some math here. And, so I need 3.5 cups times 128 grams, because I do the 128 grams for a cup of flour. All-purpose, so I need 448 grams of flour. Grab our trusty scale here. And the beauty of dumpling wrappers is I don't even know where to start. Like, it's brutal. Yeah. I just realized that bag is way too tall. I'm gonna grab a chair. Hang on. I'm officially the shortest person in the room most of the time, so yeah, like when something has an oily after smell, it's never a good thing. So we're gonna go with 448. A little too much. And like I said, this is a half recipe just because I don't need 6 dozen. But getting back to what I was talking about, the collaboration part of this is I'm going to make these tonight, and then I'm hoping pound of weed. Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm hoping my mod is paying a whole lot of attention because he's going to be making these on stream tomorrow. Yeah, you heard me. You've seen Underground doing dim sum and other fun things on his stream, but he's never actually had to make them from scratch. So we figured, let's see if he can actually pay attention through an entire stream and get these done. You still don't have to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do. You signed up, and honestly, now that I've put it out there in the universe, if you don't, people are going to be like, L's in the chat, baby. L's in the chat. All right, and now I need 2.5 cups of water. And I'm going with sort of above. Yeah, you done goofed, right? Right. 100%. Need to grab some room here. I want to make sure that all of my meaty things are out of the way so we're not cross-contaminating, because again, safety kids, I don't want to kill anybody. I'm going to go with slightly above room temperature. Ah, yes. Hard candy roller. Oh, that'd be kind of fun. You're just assembling. You still have to assemble them and mix music, so this should be interesting. All right. So I need 2 cups and 2 tablespoons because it's 2 1/8 cup. So let's just grab the additional tablespoons in my cup here. And we're just going to add it very quickly. And I'm sure if the mixer is driving you crazy, I apologize, but I'm sure you can tell that the sound has started to change. You also have chips, yes. It's really starting to get that sort of clunky sound. That's exactly what you want. Where are my chopsticks? We are going to try and organize myself because apparently I don't know where anything is right now. I'm going to do this with a spoon. Because all we're going to do is we're just going to take this flour and we're just going to start adding water slowly. That's the beauty of these, is they're literally the easiest things on the planet to make. It's just, you know, a process. Hope they're tasty. Well, we'll see. Ah, yes, spatulas. I was really hoping, I have a couple new emotes that are waiting for approval. I was really hoping they'd get up there before today, but not. But, fun fact, the meaty balls on a stick were no problem, even with what I named them, so I was kind of impressed by that. Okay. Just gonna slowly let this get together. Because we are gonna have to knead this by hand for a couple minutes after, just until it gets nice and smooth. But basically, we're just hydrating the flour. If you wanted, you could add some sort of seasoning to these right now. I'm not going to, just because the filling itself is pretty highly seasoned, so we're okay with that. But you could definitely add something if you were interested. Like some 5-spice or some garlic and As you can see, it's starting to clump together here. I need to do a little more work.
Great
I
job.
apologize if I'm missing chat right now. I just need to spend a little time paying attention to this. Hail hydrate, yes. 100%. We need to get this flour nice and hydrated because that's going to make it nice and smooth. And we're going to give it a bit of a knead once we're done here. We just want to get that all done. We've got about 30 seconds left on our bread dough. And once that's done, we're just going to stuff it in the microwave. Needs to rest and proof for about an hour or so till it's doubled in size. The best way to do that is somewhere closed and somewhere warm. So I'm actually going to put that in the microwave. You can also add a cup of boiling water to it. And that's just going to help with the retaining that heat in there. Okay, so let me finish this and I'll take this off the mixer here. This is starting to come together nicely. As you can see, like, look at how it changes just with a little bit of moisture there. So, but you want to make sure you do it in bits and pieces. You don't want to add it all at once because it will just end up being a sloppy mess. And if you want to make Play-Doh, absolutely, that's the way to do it. But since we're not aiming for Play-Doh here, I'm actually... You know what? I'm going to make an executive decision and I'm not going to add any more water to this because I'm thinking it's a bit, a bit much. I think I might actually add a little more flour just to balance it out because I think I went a little overboard there, so. As you can see, it's starting to look a little pasty, which is not what we wanted, so. Just got a little more flour there. And that should counteract. That's the beauty of this, is you can sort of play with it. If you need more water, you can add more water. If you need more flour, you can add more flour. If you need to make a mess, you can do that this way, because apparently that is what I am going for. So we are going to get the hands in there now. Turn that off. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Just gonna give this a good knead until it's nice and smooth, and then we're gonna cover it and let it sit aside for a while we get on with all of the other delicious things we are planning. Yeah, I'm much happier with that. It's weird because the hydration of your dough will change depending on the season, depending on the weather you've got. So lately here it's been pretty dry, but we've had some moisture lately, so it's actually needing this. So yeah, exactly. Crowba 100%. And I usually end up making the mess, and I am a-okay with that because it usually ends up delicious. Okay, so we're a little sticky here. I'm going to add just a smidge more flour just to clean my hands off. And I think we'll be good to go. I'm just going to cover this with plastic and let it sit aside. All right. Happy with that. As you can see, it's got a really nice stretch to it, but it's not too crazy. It's lost some of the stickiness. Just gonna ball it up, give a little bit of a dust, and that should be perfect for our dumplings. I'm happy with that. Oh God, extract. Jeez. I could hydrate it with food coloring. Yeah, no, I think I'll pass on that, but let's try again. I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a sprinkle just to keep it from sticking.
I'm like Oprah. You get a ball. You get a ball. You get a ball.
Everybody gets balls, because you know what? This is a ball. We've got a ball of dough, which I'm very happy with. And we're about to take the other one off the mixer. So this is your basic dumpling dough. And yeah, just want to give it a bit of a pat, make sure it's not too sticky. Get that in there, and we're just going to let it sit. It's not going to rise because there's no yeast in it. You just want to give it some time to relax because you've been working it out and it's probably annoyed at you. So, sorry, I just need to wash the excess off my hands here. Meow! Thank you for the hydrate. I appreciate that. I'm going to need that because the flour is hydrated. Now I need to hydrate. Apologize for the noise here. We're just going to... I've got dough under my fingernails. There we go. Alright. So I'm just going to cover this in plastic and let that sit. And then we're going to get this guy off the mixer because it needs some time alone. Grab the plastic. ASMR voice. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be very quiet. We're just gonna rip some plastic. Underground. Oh, Nick, good to see you. I'm so excited you got your honey today. That's awesome. If you're not following that guy, Nick, please make sure you are. Also, I forgot to do my stream shaming of make sure you're following Funk Shop because the more of us that follow him, the more likely he'll be to start streaming. So. Might get a proofing drawer. Yeah, exactly. Just hear my plastic slowly rustling. Well, that didn't work out. That didn't go too terribly. I forgot to turn my notifications off. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to let this guy sit to the side. He's going to hang out and have a good time. Now we're going to get this guy off the mixer. And... I'm actually going to move this over so that you guys can see it because this is exactly what you want. You need to throw out the korma extracts and the biryani extracts first. So as I'm taking this off, you'll see it's good and sticky and it'll be nice and warm because the yeast is starting to activate. And what you will see is that it is actually stuck to the bottom of the bowl, which is fine. You want it stuck to the bottom of the bowl, you don't want it stuck to the sides. So we are actually going to leave this in the bowl that it's been made in. We're going to let it proof in here. Because once we're done, we're actually going to need to punch it down, and the easiest way to do that is with the mixer, so... Jesus. I am, however, just going to give it a bit of a nudge just to make sure it's all together in a ball. So we're just going to take the dough scraper, give it a bit of a stuff here, and then we're going to let this sit because it needs to double in size. So we can get the mixer out of the way for now. And like I said, you can put it in a warm place if you have a super hot house like I do. Pretty much anywhere is a good warm place. I'm just going to leave it in the balls. Yes, exactly. As I was saying, Nick, earlier, I was pretty excited because I changed balls in the chat. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is beautifully smooth and I'm very happy with it. So we are going to slide this into the microwave, which is a nice draft-free place. And it's just going to sit for about an hour. If you want to make things go a little faster, you could do a cup of boiling water in there, which you might actually do, just to speed things along, because I'm talking a whole lot and not getting a whole lot accomplished. Chat balls, oh my god. Well, I'm sure anyone who is here has noticed that I have changed my channel points from amuse-bouches to balls. Because now I have infinite balls. Yeah, exactly. Balls in my chat, dicks in underground. So I'm going to get some water boiling here just so we can put that in, and that'll help with the proofing process. And that'll give me a second to clear off a bit here, because... Oh, and my rice is done. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a toss. Yeah. Paddle. I need the paddle. Sorry, guys. I apologize for walking in and out of frame all the time here, but I'm like, I miss things. So something like this lets me elaborate. Balls are that they are companies that belong in the where they belong to my partner. They are soft and squidgy and truly magnificent. As I described it. Pardon me. Did somebody hack underground? Because I don't know if any of the rest of you have seen, but apparently it is also Cocktober. And that has shown up in a number of go-lives that I have had to read, so I am going to just fluff my rice here. I'm going to show this to you guys, though. Very hot. Very hot. Yeah, it is, in fact, Cocktober, and there's actually a whole copy pasta that you can add to various things. So, yeah. So yeah, all the Dixon chat. So we've got our glutinous rice here, and this is the texture you want with glutinous rice. It needs to be sticky. It's got that nice starch, but we're going to give it a bit of a fluff here before we start leaving it for other things. I'm actually just going to... Oh, PDS just posted the Discord. Hey, Underground, can you check what PDS just posted? Because I'm deadly curious. Or does Gray Sweatpants sees it? Yes, that too. I've seen a number of posts about Gray Sweatpants. Oh. Perfect. Oh, burnt my face, but yeah, that's exactly what you want. So we're just going to give it a bit of a fluff here, because we're going to eventually put this in a wok and stir fry it up, which is great. But I'm happy with that. Love my rice cooker. And now we're going to get on to getting the char siu in the oven. I'm going to start my oven at 475. Like I said, we need to get this hot and fast. Thirsty chat, time to hydrate. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. A carrot recipe. Oh my god. Yes, I did not realize it was a thing until today. And that's only because I was reading Twitter and there was plenty of drama. It does, but for this, I'm not really concerned. I just sort of wanted to get some of the steam out. If I were eating it right away, or if I weren't stir-frying it later, I would have definitely used a fork. Okay, so I have my pan here, and I've had it lined with foil because this is going to make a huge mess. And so if you line your pan with foil, you have a much better likelihood of actually being able to reclaim that pan and use it again. I've definitely lost a couple pans, thank you for your service, to various things like this before, so I'm not against it. I need a cover. Let's go with my favorite coffee mug. We're gonna go with this guy. Canadian fast food. Turkey pan. Yeah, pretty much. You just want to make sure that there's something going. And yeah, this is just gonna help with keeping the environment nice and warm and moist. So we got that in there. We're gonna timer that for about 45 or so. We'll check it and see how it's coming along. Now we can get the kettle out of the way. My apologies, I'll be right back. I feel like I spend more time off camera today than I do on. Moist, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nick. 100%. 100%. Alright, so our char siu pork has been hanging out in its marinade. Just gonna quick little wipe up here. And now we can take it out. We're going to lie it on our pan. Did I only set that for 15 seconds? I did, didn't I? Let's try 45. There we go. Alright, Captain Happy Pants. Yeah. Finish the dishes. I'm terrible. This is the stream for dishes. So, let me move this in view. You can see it's got that lovely sort of glaze to. Oh my god, you guys should smell this. You want to try and leave a little bit of space between it. Just realized that this pan is probably not going to be big enough. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. Oh, the smell of this, you guys, is so amazing. Like, I can't even describe how good it smells. It's got that beautiful sort of rich sweetness from that hoisin and the oyster sauce, and it's got that garlic, and oh, so good. So, so good. Let's try and settle this properly. Okay. Oh no, I have 2 pieces left. Can I get them in there? Can I get them in there? Let's squeeze. Let's squeeze. You know what? If they're touching each other, it's okay. Won't be sad. Too sad anyways. More dishes. Exactly. 100% more dishes. I am literally the dishes queen. After I finish a stream, I'm quite often doing dishes for another 2 hours after I take pictures of everything and put all the food away. It's, yeah.
I hope you have a contact.
That's why I do this on a Thursday night, is because if I don't get to bed until 3 o'clock in the morning, it's really not a big deal because I don't need to be in the office. I just need to actually roll out of bed and make it to the couch. Or, couch, no, my chair, which is really close to the couch. Literally like a 15-second commute. Okay. Thank you, Nick. Check out how beautiful that is. Like, I am so happy with that. Now, with this, it has actually 2 different cookings. It's going to start at 475, and it's going to sit there for about 20 minutes. Let me check. Got the 85. Sorry, 10 minutes, and then we're going to reduce it and let it sit for about 25 at 375. So, yeah, I'm very excited about this. Go over to the stove. I'm going to check my oven. I do have a thermometer in my oven just because you probably always should, and it's nowhere near, so we're just going to let that go. Which is perfect because now we can start on the next fun part, which is making our dumpling filling for the shumai. I'm doing shumai today just because it's a little more friendly for when you want to make dumplings, but you don't want to actually spend a lot of time making dumplings. So you make the filling, it's delicious, but it doesn't need to be pleated and folded and made really pretty. So we're going to start with that. I literally have 85 sticky notes here all of a sudden. I'm not quite sure why. This is how I do. Literally, like, I write everything down on sticky notes because I'm not quite sure what I need, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I have like 8 streams worth of stuff here, so I'm just gonna put that away, and we're gonna get back to the stuff that I actually need. Yeah, thanks, Underground. I appreciate that. All right, so we have marinated our short ribs. Those are gonna steam later. We have made our dough for our char siu bao. We're just waiting for the actual meat to go into the oven because it is a little on the cold side still. We are about to start the filling for our dumplings. I literally have 85 pages here. Hilarious. And they are absolutely in no order. None. So this should be, yeah, love notes to my future self, right? It's kind of funny because I write them and I'm like, I really should actually put like titles on them or something? Because, like, I have stacks. I have these. Like, all over. The side of my fridge is covered in stickies. It's the Gridlock. Good to see you. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. Shout out to Gridlock. We love you very much, and we're so happy you could join us. You sort of hit us. Why am I killing trees? Because I'm really terrible. I come from the era where everything is printed out or on a sticky note. So I can put things in my phone, and I do, and I forget. I literally, like, I will put my entire life into my calendar or a keep note or something, and then I completely forget it's there, and then I go write myself a sticky note, and it's much easier. So I am ashamed to say that I am the tree killer. Paperless office, oh god, no. Yeah. Oh, well, I do actually have screenshots of recipes, mostly because I ran out of ink in my printer here, so. Which is why I've been writing things out. Usually I just print them out. It's beautiful. You've got all these lovely pages here. And the other thing is it makes it easier when I want to, you know, archive it. Like, I've been really trying to be better about getting my stuff onto Discord after I'm done so that you guys can actually see what I'm making. Even though I'm frankenfooding a lot of it.
Can I get a hell?
Aw, thank you so much for stopping by, Gridlock. I appreciate that. I hope you have a great sleep. And I'm sure we'll catch you around sometime this weekend. There's URC's on tomorrow, and Database and URC are doing Visualize on Saturdays, so I'm sure we'll catch you again. But thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. And have a great night. And I hope you have a great Friday. I'm covered in, like, molasses and stuff, so I apologize. I'm just like, oh. Ah! Interesting, Mrs. Wayso. I really, really, really am interested. Wow. Rocket books. This would be using QR keys. Huh. I think that might actually be a solution for this crazy person, because, yeah, I'm the worst. I'm literally the worst. Like, I print everything. I write everything on stickies. It's pretty bad. So. Anyways, yeah. So we are going to get going on getting our filling for our dumplings ready, because we still have a bit of time while this dough rests. Give it a poke. See how it's going. It's okay. Anyways, so, yeah. Now I just have to figure out where my recipe is, because this guy, it's funny, I saw this on Instagram, and I don't even know what order pages are in anymore. This is a problem. Alright, we're good. Okay. Oh, Amazon, all different sizes. Oh! Now I'm going to check that out as soon as I'm done here, because now I am definitely curious. Okay, so back to our dumpling filling. I totally forgot to grab some shiitake mushrooms. And I've got the dried kind. My apologies as I walk away from you guys so much today. I apologize. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, exactly, Tad. I'd be hunting Amazon, but apparently I have an underground who's checking them out for me, so yeah. Okay, so I've got some sliced shiitake, which are from a local producer here at Edmonton, Mona Food. They're at the Strathcona Farmers Market. I'm sure they're at other markets, but I get these from Strathcona's, so I'm just going to grab a handful, and I'm just going to need to rehydrate them. Good night. Aw. Oh, absolutely, Gridlock. 100%. Whenever you're ready for leftovers, I will be here. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. And have a great night. I need to rehydrate some mushrooms. I need a bowl. Ooh, I'm having bullpocalypse over here. Ooh, ooh. Alright. So I'm just going to grab a handful. Look at how beautiful those are. And the beauty of dried mushrooms is you don't need a whole lot. And they rehydrate fairly quickly, but the liquid is just as good. So even if you're not using the liquid in what is nachos. That's awesome. I'm just going to use some of the rest of the hot water I've got here. And I'm gonna cover that with plastic. Thank you for the hydrate. I will do that shortly. I'm just gonna let these sit for a couple of minutes and get nice and soft. Then we'll give them a bit of a chop. And the beauty of it is the liquid actually you can save and use. It's such an umami bomb because it's got that beautiful mushroom flavor. So we're just gonna let that sit and do its thing. Which will give us time to get a bowl and get started on our filling for our dumplings. Now this is like the use local. Ah, nice. Ah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to check this out once I'm done here because that sounds amazing. And if it's helped someone that used to be a sticky note person get out of the sticky notes, I am all for it. Because I look at the piles that I just showed you guys and I'm like, oh, so disappointed in myself. Why am I being so terrible to the environment? But yeah, so. And again, this is going to be a brought to you by Everything Local show. So today we are using Irving Farm pork, which is, oh, all sizes, line squares, colors. Oh my god. What? Prime Days? Oh, sorry guys. I gotta go buy shit. It's Amazon Prime Days. Yeah, so anyways, excuse me. Irving's is a local Berkshire producer around here, so if you were here the last time, I was extolling their virtues, and I'm going to do that again. So yeah, definitely, if you have the opportunity to get to the markets, do it. Stream over. Yeah, exactly. I need to shop. I don't need to make food. I need to shop. I want all of the things. It's funny because I find it amusing that Prime Days is always like the 11th and 12th, and I'm like, they do realize that a lot of people get paid on like the 15th. Like, you know, they would do so much better if they'd give it a couple more days. Or maybe they're just trying to keep me from buying shit, which is totally fine. So we've got our pork. Most of the time you would be putting shrimp in here. I do not do seafood. It's a personal preference. But if you wanted to, thanks to Google Drive too. Oh shit. Okay, now I need to buy this. I absolutely need to buy this. But I don't have a love for seafood. It's not my thing. It's entirely a personal preference. I'm not allergic or anything. I'm just not a fan. So yeah, it's super cool that it's thanks to Google Drive because I live on Google Drive. Like everything is Google Drive. Keep notes, Drive, Sheets, the whole 9 yards, and that's Underground's fault. So anyways, I'm actually just gonna go check my oven before we start getting into this because I need to get this pork cooking. Oh yeah, we are at 475. This baby is going in. We're going to leave that for about 10 minutes. And this rack is at the top of my oven as well. Want to get it nice and close. So we're going to give that about 10 minutes. And then we're going to turn that down to 375 and let it go for about another 20-25. Exactly. G-Drive is basically how we work everything. So to this, I don't need that yet. I need some oyster sauce. And I need a little bit of sesame oil, some sugar. And this is just a very basic filling. So about 1.5 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Drop the lid on the floor. That's a good sign. We need some soy. I'm going to use dark soy because I like it. Ah! Oh, nice. Oh, nice. I'm going to use a smidge of soy. Go. I'm going to add some white pepper. And this is sort of one of those things that you can actually do to taste. So if there's things that you like more than other, oh yeah, best cookbook ever. Ah, that sounds like the best cookbook ever. If you guys want to invite me to that, I'd be super excited. Just saying. But yeah, no, I love Google for that. I'm gonna go in with about a teaspoon of sugar. And apparently, Underground's sleeping on the job because I didn't get the noob sauce update that I needed to change my damn camera. So I have my ground pork, I've got some oyster sauce, I've got some soy, I've got some white pepper. Yeah, way to go. Thanks, appreciate it. You missed it.
Chad has asked me to tell you we can't see
and I've got some sugar.
Wrong
I'm going to put a little cornstarch, a little salt, and we are going to go some sesame oil as well. Again, I'm using toasted sesame oil. Yeah. I'm like... You realize that this is the point of the show where you're supposed to be paying attention. Actually, no. You're not going to need to make this by yourself, but you are going to need to do the rest of it. I'm actually going to add some ginger grated in because when I read this recipe, I'm like, there are some things that it's missing. So I'm going to go with some fresh ginger. Don't even need to peel it when you're actually using this grater. You can just do it like this. I'm going to go with a good knob. And as you can see, it just grates like that. We'll just get that in there. A little bit more. I'm also going to put some 5 spice in here just because I can. I find a lot of times that when you find a recipe, it's pretty good. But if you have sort of a knowledge of the food after you've made it a few times, you're like, okay, it's missing this, it's missing that. So feel free to go nuts. That's the whole point. I said no. Prime Dino, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Our friend from the West Coast, another West Coaster. If you're not following Prime Dino, please head over and do so. Super fun. Great music. Fun setup, and quite often we get to see trains, and since I love trains, that makes me very happy. I'm also going to put in a little bit of garlic for the same reason.
Emotional damage.
So far, no emotional damage. We'll see once my dough comes out of the proofing stage if we actually get emotional damage or if we're just crying in the corner, which is entirely possible. Alright. Again, I'm just going to grate this in because mincing is for people who have too much time on their hands. That is not me. Got a good grate. Don't want too much, but enough to... And if you don't like garlic, you don't have to add it. If you don't like ginger, you don't have to add it. If you don't like 5 spice, then you're in the wrong place. But yeah, like these are kind of the beauty of this. Is it's basically a base sort of recipe. You can do whatever you want. Oh, what is it? Underground? I actually know what that is, and yes, you will get canceled. I will cancel you. I actually know what that is, and that is not okay. I'm like, because I don't want to be canceled.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage, exactly. Alright, and the last thing we are going to do is we're going to take these beautiful shiitakes, which have now rehydrated, and they're nice and soft and hot as hell. We're going to give that a bit of a drain. I'm actually going to drain them into another bowl so that we can keep this beautiful liquid. Shrugs and Merkin. Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. It would be okay if you could put the accents on it, but râpé would not look that way here. So I'm just gonna drain these off. Save this liquid. It'll be beautiful in broth. All right. I'm so happy. Oh, they smell so good. There's no, oh, honestly. Yeah, this is like liquid gold. Never get rid of this. Slide it off to the side because it's hot as hell right now. And we're gonna just give these a rough chop. Oh, yeah, that juice stream is so cool. So cool. Yes, there is the accent, but unfortunately, if you do not enable your keyboard or if you're not thinking, it does not always come through. So we're just going to give these a bit of a chop through just to make them smaller. And this is going to be the basis for our dumpling filling. I'm very happy with. If you're not a mushroom person, you can definitely leave this out. If you're not a fan of the texture, but you still like the flavor, you can actually buy mushroom extract or powder. So you can definitely hook yourself up there. And there we go. I just need to do a quick first aid break. I will be right back. Noob Sauce, good to see you. Welcome in. I just actually need to take a quick first aid break. I will be right back.
Are you serious? This is torture. You're torturing me and everyone else watching. Wait.
Listen, I'm Mike Oprah. You get a ball. You get a ball. You get a ball.
No blood. I just nicked the very corner of my finger, so I figured I would put a Band-Aid on just to be food safe. I'm good. Yes. Good evening, Noob Sauce. So glad to see you. I'm glad you're here. Hope you had a great week so far. We're just in the process of making some dumpling filling for some pork shumai that we're going to make underground replicate tomorrow on his stream. So we've got pork, we've got mushrooms, we've got soy and oyster sauce, we've got some ginger, we've got some garlic, we're going to a little 5 spice, we've got some white pepper in there. I'm going to add a smidge of salt because, you know what, we're not even going to go with salt. We're going to go full on, completely... We're going to go completely authentic. Be right back. Okay, Fug Shop. Yes, my friends. 100% monosodium glutamate. Oh, yeah. I have my own thought process on it. I don't have a problem with it. So, some people say they're sensitive to it. It's entirely possible that they are. There's been a lot of research recently that points to it not being as bad as everybody says, but there are some people... Exactly. Yes. I know some people do actually have... sorry, I'm just needing to turn my oven down here. We're going to go back up to 25 minutes here. There's been a lot of research recently that... sort of gets MSG. Yeah, exactly. It's gotten a bad rap. It was sort of demonized by the health food industry for the longest time. I think unnecessarily. There are, like, honestly, absolutely, there are people who are sensitive to it, and I totally feel that. But I just think the demonization of it is unfair because it really is a flavor enhancer, like anything, like salt. When you add salt to something. It's just a form of salt, and I think it's had a, yeah, exactly. If I were putting that entire jar that I had in there, yeah, you might have a bad time. But this, I think the reason people were having reactions to things like Chinese food years and years and years ago were likely more due to the colorants and other additives that were added rather than the MSG. But MSG just got painted as the bad guy, so. MSG gets all the love in my kitchen. Yeah, exactly. Don't eat a bag of it. 100%. Oh, yes. Tactical. Are we friends on the MSG? I'm hoping so. Because we're like friends on everything else. I'd really hate to be divergent on MSG, but I have a feeling we probably think the same way on MSG. As I wait with bated breath to see how that works out. Ah, okay. Okay. Don't need a bag. Oh, snort. Oh, Jesus. MSG's good. Oh, I knew it. All right. Back to mixing this up because we need to get some shit done tonight or you're all going to be here till 2 o'clock in the morning. So, you know what? I kind of like a little spice. You could go with chili peppers. I'm actually going to go with some fresh chili just because I have some and they're delightful. Not too much. Don't want them like overly crazy spicy. I also don't want anything in here that's going to wilt, so I'm not going to use a green onion. Yeah, MSG is so... exactly! Cat High Pet. Exactly. And that's the thing, is it got sort of singled out and demonized, and people are just so terrified of it now, and it's like, there's really no reason for it, but unfortunately, it's like anything. You know, once people hear bad things about it, it's kind of hard to change their minds. So, I'm just gonna go with some really thin slices here. I'm not taking the seeds out because I like the heat. And because I'm hoping that Underground will have fun eating them on stream tomorrow. My gloves are so big, sorry. Fix that. If you wanted to, you could slice these in half. You can leave these out totally. You could use dried red chilies if you want. You could take the seeds out, just cut them in half, take out the seeds and membranes. Lots of things you can do. I just, like I said, these are kind of a choose your own adventure. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to mix this all together really well. And we're going to let it sit so that flavor gets through there. Oh, yes. 100%. Yeah, the Pro Mrs. Dash industry absolutely ruined MSG for everybody. Okay, so that is all nice and combined. I'm happy with that. So we're just going to let that sit aside until our wrappers are ready to get going. And that's perfect because that leads us to... Oh, wearing gloves is like better than like licking your fingers to move pages. I'm kind of excited about that. Because now we need to get on to... Oh, but yeah, exactly. I drink and know things. Exactly. Alright. Where are we now? We're at the stuffed peppers part of the evening. Which is kind of a... It's kind of interesting. I figured I needed a vegetable, and I like a lot of vegetables, but... when you get to stuff vegetables with meat, it's kind of perfect. So I'm going to get the stuffing ready first. Got pills for that. Yeah, totally, Happy Pants. I totally believe that. I know my dad is not particularly, good with MSG. He actually has a reaction to a lot of things like balsamic vinegar, red wines, mushrooms, any of those things that have those, compounds in them, and MSG is one of them, so he doesn't do particularly well. I'm not sure. I think it's actually like a collection of uric acid. So you get the urea in your joints, like the crystals, and it's... I don't have it, and I'm grateful for that, and I hope to never have it. Unfortunately, my dad suffers from it, and Underground has had... Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I'm glad that you guys could hashtag science. Glad you guys could back me up on that, because I'm like, I knew I'd read about it, but yeah, it's all I know is that it's painful and miserable, and nobody wants it. Yeah, it's mainly a guy thing, 100%. Okay, I need to actually flip this pork so that it can finish cooking. So we're gonna go over to the stove. We're also gonna grab some tongs. So yeah, R.I.P. this. Let's see how this goes. And that is the chicken that's gonna be the stuffing of our peppers. I'm gonna grab... I don't know why I always want to go into the oven with my bare hands. Not exactly the best idea. Alright, so... Oh my god, this smells so good. And now I'm going to flip it over. I'm also going to add some water. And we're gonna let that keep cooking. I'm gonna let that steam up a bit too. So far, I can turn this shit. That's not bad. That's not bad. And the steam is also gonna help, you know, things keep from burning as you're cooking them, so. Very happy with that. Oh my god, it smells so good in here, you guys. I can't even begin. Oh, thank you. I'm excited for it. I just need to get some water in there because it needs to have a little bit of a steam action going for it. So, grab some water. Perfect. Almost grabbed that with my bare hand again. Let's try not to. This back in here. That's going to continue blipping away. And good thing I checked it because I didn't check the timer. Ah, river so wide. Ah, thank you. I appreciate. Yeah, no, and it smells incredible in here. I'm not going to lie. We will get to dim sum eventually today, and yeah, I'm pretty excited because it smells freaking amazing. So we're going to get started on the stuffing for our peppers. So I've got ground chicken. Normally this would be shrimp. I'm not a fan of seafood, as I was saying earlier, so we're going to go with shrimp. So I've got some ground chicken here. And to that, we're going to add some scallions. I'm going to add all the good stuff again. So I'm going to add some chilies. We're going to go with some green onions. We're going to get some shallot in there. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are not... oh yeah. Oh no kidding. Backlog of homes to look at. Yes. So funny. It's funny. There's a house in my parents' neighborhood that has been on the market for like 6-7 months. And I actually went to the website today to try and find the listing. Couldn't find it, so I'm wondering if it's been sold finally. But I was thinking about you guys. You mean this? 100% Captain Happy Pants? That is going into the rice that we're going to do near the end there.